So the first automation I want to cover is the cart abandonment sequence. And this is sent to a subscriber who fills their cart and provides their personal information, but they fail to complete their purchase. Average abandoned cart rates are nearly 70%. That means 70% of the people who put stuff in their cart just walk away from them. You can typically see a lift in sales of 5 to 10% after creating an abandoned cart sequence. And there is a lot you can do to improve on the default sequences that are baked into MailChimp, and even Shopify has kind of a default sequence that you can just turn on and use. Better than nothing, but I'll show you how to improve those. A few principles. You want to send your first email after someone abandons the cart within an hour. You can use personalization to increase the open and click-through rates because you'll have the person's first name. Emphasize any guarantees that you offer and let them know you're there to support them both in the purchase process and afterwards. You can add incentives to your abandoned cart sequence in order to persuade them to complete the sale. And you might even want to offer some alternatives. This will depend on your business, but I'll show you what that means when we get into it. So I'm going to show you how to create 4 emails. This is a fairly aggressive sequence, but it's one we use. The first one is just a reminder. It's fairly passive. Just lets them know they can simply return to the items that they've already put in their cart to complete the purchase. The second one, you're going to introduce a little bit of scarcity, and I'll show you some other tricks to make them a little more persuasive. By the third one, if they still haven't consummated the sales, you might want to introduce a discount offer. And fourth, this won't apply in every case, but if there are alternatives like Amazon that offer free shipping, you may want to point them there. At least you'll get a sale from somewhere. So let's get into these, and I'll walk you through step by step how to create these. Here we are on the dashboard page, and we are going to create a campaign. It's an email campaign, and this is going to be an automated sequence. And you're actually given some options here when you choose automated sequence. And if you go under e-commerce, there's the recover abandoned carts sequence. So the one thing we definitely want to choose here, we want to make sure this is an email series, not a single email. So we'll choose that. And this is the site that we're connected to. And we'll call this the abandoned cart email series. And click begin. So MailChimp is going to pre-populate this series with a number of emails, which is great. But we're going to edit these and refine them and make them a little more powerful. So let's start with the first email. And you'll notice the trigger here is 1 hour after subscribers abandoned a cart. So that's a good length of time. Frankly, I would like it to be even shorter, but unfortunately, MailChimp's defaults only allow hours. They don't allow portions of an hour or minutes. So 1 hour is the best we're going to get here. The one thing I would do here to the subject line is I would introduce a little bit of personalization. So I'm going to add the merge tag for first name here. I'll add a comma after that. We'll definitely have their first name because they've already completed all their purchase information except for their payment information. So we know we have that. And let's move on here. So there's a few options here. This is a basic abandoned cart. It will show the exact products that they had in their cart. This one will show those products plus some recommendations, some other products that MailChimp will randomly select, or there may be some algorithm that does that for you. I'd like to just focus on the products that they've already shown an interest in, but you can choose the other if you prefer. So this is a new template, so I'll have to insert the logo here as I showed you in the earlier lessons. Now you can introduce an image here if you've got sort of a more generic image. And we have some fun images that I'll use here, but you don't need an image here. You may want to just keep the focus on the products, but I'll upload one that we have here. And I'm going to change the copy here a bit. And again, I want to introduce a merge tag here. So we'll say, first name, did you forget something? So again, personalization can really make a difference here. And we keep this fairly simple. We saved all the beautiful items you've added to your cart. So when you're ready to buy, simply complete your purchase. And this link here is the same as the link down below. Return to checkout. There's a default link that MailChimp provides you that takes people back to an abandoned cart. Just select that, select link. Anywhere you want to insert this, we can just click abandoned cart page, and there you go. We could style this if we wanted, just change the color. We like to use a green. I'll go down here to a dark green. Now, one other thing I might add here is just a little bit of customer service text here. So I'm going to add, if you have any questions or need any help, don't hesitate to contact our customer support team at inquiries@soyoung. So that's a nice low-pressure email for someone who has recently abandoned a cart. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this as a template. We'll call this abandoned cart email 1. Save. Okay, and we'll just hit return to workflow here. Hit save and continue. So that is the first email in our series. Okay, let's move on to the second email. It's suggesting 1 day after the user abandons the cart, and that's a reasonable time frame. So let's get into designing that one. Again, I'm going to update the subject line to include a merge tag, but I'd also like to introduce a little bit of scarcity here. So we'll say, get these before they're gone. And we'll get into the email here. Now, again, let's go into our save templates. I'll select this one, abandoned cart, first abandoned cart. So we have our logo there. So this time we'll get a little more aggressive and we'll say, are you sure you want to leave these behind? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this image. I'm going to introduce an image that calls attention to our 30-day money-back guarantee. So that may remove some hesitation as well if people know that they can return the product if they're not satisfied with it. Adds credibility to our brand. And let's just edit the text down here. So again, we'll use the merge tag, but we'll use it here in the body copy. Hi, first name. Would you like us to teleport you back to a happy place known as the SoYoung shopping cart? And then feeling a little non-committal, don't worry, all SoYoung products come with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee and 1-year warranty. And then we can have a link to complete their purchase here, or they can click on either of the things below, but that's sort of a call to action. So again, we'll just send them there, and that's done. And again, we've got our little piece at the bottom offering to help them. If they have any questions, they can reach out to us. So that one is done as well. So we're now into this. You should be increasing your sales by at least 5% with just those 2 emails. But we're going to go a step further, and this is a very effective email if you're willing to go this far. And what I like to do is say, can we make a deal? This subject line has a very high open rate. First of all, it's a question. Second of all, people want to know what the deal is, so they're very likely to open it. So I'll show you what we're going to do here. So we're going to choose one of our saved templates here. Again, we'll choose our abandoned cart one here. And so again, I'm going to replace this with an image that, again, emphasizes the 30-day money-back guarantee. And a cute little image here, kind of implying this is a secret deal. And what I'll say here is, let's make this deal a little sweeter for you. So again, we're going to use the merge tags, but in this case, we're going to offer them a discount code of 15% off their purchase. Now, a lot of people are already offering 10% off as an email subscription incentive. So you're really only offering them an extra 5% off. If you can afford the margin, consider how much that sale may be worth to you versus just completely losing the sale. And MailChimp is able to track whether or not someone has consummated the sale. So people should not be receiving this if they responded to the previous 2 emails. And you can make up a discount code, make it a little bit obscure. It's going to be a universal code, but you can typically, depending on what email platform you're using in Shopify, you can limit that code to 1 use per customer. So they would only ever be able to use it once. And we'll fib a little bit here and say that the offer expires in 24 hours. But we want to introduce some urgency to get them to act. So I might even emphasize this code here so they don't miss it, so they can see most people understand what a discount code is. And it looks like a personalized discount code even if it isn't. And you can just let that run. This can be very effective. And again, we're emphasizing the 30-day money-back guarantee. And again, we have our customer service outreach offer here. So let's hit save and continue. Now, 3 days is a little long. I'll move this down to 2. We'll update that. So this in itself, these 3 emails with some of the upgrades and enhancements we've added should be very effective. But if you want to go one step further, for those of you that are selling on Amazon or other platforms that may offer free shipping when you don't, you can even add a 4th email. And I'll show you what this one would look like. One of the biggest reasons that people might abandon a cart is shipping costs. Now, you may or may not be offering free shipping beyond a certain threshold. That's what we do. But we won't offer free shipping if someone's buying a low-priced product. And that is the one area where we really cannot compete with Amazon's offers, who've obviously built this machine for shipping products at a low cost. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, are you looking for free shipping? And again, we'll use our save template here. I'm going to replace this image with just kind of a generic Amazon box here, because really what we're doing here is pointing people to our Amazon store. So we'll talk about how they might want to go to our Amazon store if they're having trouble justifying the shipping cost. So small is beautiful, but being big has its advantages too. Have you heard of a little website called Amazon.com? Well, they have a few items there that we don't, that you could combine with your So Young selections to get free shipping. Or if you have an Amazon Prime account, you're already there. So I'll move a button over here. And I'll say visit So Young's page on Amazon.com. So that lets them know that we're available there if that's their preferred way of shopping. And I'll just insert the URL and maybe just edit the style to make it consistent with our other buttons here. And there we go. Now we could leave this stuff down here down below. Give them an option here. But this is kind of an extra bonus email that you may want to use. Again, it only would apply if you have your products on another large platform like Amazon that has a different shipping model that may appeal to the consumer. So let's save and continue, and we'll head back to look at the flow as a whole. So we have our first email going out after 1 hour, the second after 1 day, the third after 2 days, and this one, the trigger is 1 day after subscribers are sent the previous email. So you just want to note that this trigger is using a slightly different rule set. So it's being sent based on the previous email as opposed to relative to when the cart was abandoned. But that's fine. It's in the same flow. So it should respond to the same rules, which is that once someone actually completes that abandoned cart, the flow will end and this email will only be sent if the cart remains abandoned. So now we can just hit the next button and we can review all of our information here. And we just hit start workflow. And that is how to create a cart abandonment automation, which can be very powerful in terms of closing more sales. And it's an absolute necessity for anyone running an e-commerce store. So that's it. I'll show you 2 more very powerful automation sequences in the upcoming lessons.